Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. Today's video is focusing on my 5 favorite jelly polishes from Cracked. If you're unfamiliar with Cracked Polish, it's an indie nail brand that I feel like probably every video that I do has at least one of their products in it, because I think it's definitely one of my personal top favorite brands that I have in my collection. I wear their products all the time, and they have a sale coming up this weekend for Memorial Day. It's going to be between May 22nd through the 25th. Also, just disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with Cracked. This video is not sponsored or anything like that. This video is just being made out of my love for the brand and also wanting to help you all have some more information as you are building your wish list and trying to figure out what to purchase. So yeah, it's going to be from the 22nd through the 25th. Everything, I think they said except for charity polishes, will be 20% off, and that stacks with the 10% off affiliate codes. So if there are any Cracked affiliates that you follow, like here on YouTube, Instagram, wherever, you can add in their code and get that additional savings. So here's where this video is coming from. I know that Cracked has a lot of so-called jellies in their collection. That sounded really shady with me saying so-called, but here's what I'm getting at. I'm someone who, for me, a jelly polish is one that it's more on a sheer side, something that it's buildable, but there's this emphasis on it being sheer enough for me to see through, do some layering with, and as I'm layering, I still want to be able to see, like, if I put a topper in between the coats of a jelly, I want to really be able to still see it, but with a tint, So as I've been building my collection from Cracked, there have been times when I've been a little bit surprised that a polish that was on the website described as being a jelly turned out, again, at least just to me, personal opinion, to be what I would consider more of a crelly. So for those of you who might be newer to nail polish, a crelly is a type of finish that sits between a cream and a jelly. So it's more sheer than a cream, but not as, it's more sheer than a cream, yes, but also it is more opaque than a jelly. I think I'm saying that right. It's like in the middle. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And as I was thinking about the products that I was gonna pull out from my collection to recommend to you all to consider putting on your wish list if you were thinking of shopping the sale, I was like, okay, what might be really helpful would be for me to separate them into which of these. So figuring out, first of all, which ones are my favorites, and then separating them into which ones are really jellies, like that have that sheer see-throughness to it, and then which of those are more on the crelly side. So where we are now, I'm starting with the jelly video. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And a little bit more information about how I'm going to structure these. So each video, this is the jelly one, and then separately I'm gonna film and post a crelly one, not right away, but hopefully sometime before the sale kicks off later this week. Each video is gonna have 5 polishes in there, and for each polish, I'm gonna show you how they build up in 1, 2, and 3 layers. So I'm gonna have the swatch wheel and have them separated out on different swatches so that you can see what 1 coat looks like, 2 coats, 3 coats, and so on. And then also for each polish, I'll also show you how it can work when you use it as like a jelly or crully sandwich. Meaning, again, when you start with that polish, like one coat of the polish, put a topper on, and then another layer of the jelly or crully polish. I think that could be really helpful for those of you who are trying to get more use out of the other polishes in your collection, or as you're considering which polishes to potentially add to your collection if you're being drawn more to versatility of polishes. And so also with the toppers that I'm choosing for that, there's 3 toppers that I've pulled out from my collection to use across the 5 polishes today. So you'll also get a look at 3 of the cracked toppers that I recommend as part of wish list building. So yeah, you know, y'all know me, I like structure. I like y'all to get a sense of how my brain is working and how I'm going about this. And, you know, my recommendation would be, if you are someone who is newer to jellies, or you haven't really considered if you want to add them into your collection or not, also think about maybe the way that jelly polishes can be used to add a slight tint to whatever you put it underneath. I know there have been many times for me personally when I've started with some polish, like a different finish, like let's say like a flake polish, like a shimmer polish or something like that. And the color was like almost right for me, but not fully. And so then I was like, wait, before I give up on this and destash it, why don't I try to put a jelly over it and see if that could work? And in many cases, using a jelly has been a way that I've been able to get more use out of the other polishes in my collection. So something else to just consider there. So I think that's all for now. Yeah, let's go ahead and get jelly. As always, I like to begin by showing you what's on my nails today. Here is a look at what we've got going on. In the intro, you probably saw that I'm wearing like blue and white today. So this was definitely the vibe that I knew I wanted to go with for my manicure today. So I was doing my nails when my husband came home from work, and I was just so excited to show him. I was like, look at my nails. And he agreed that this kind of looks like it could be like a granite countertop. And you know, this, I think another part of why I love this is just you get such a great, interesting visual look, but by using such relatively simple pieces. So to start with, I'm using this cream polish from Bee's Knees Lacquer called Undead. It's from their Nosferatu collection, and it's this really gorgeous, like blue, slate, gray, cream. And you know, so recently I put on, there was, I think a week or so ago, I felt I wanted to wear some dark nail polish. So I put on ILMP's Party Bus, which is this like dark, it's like a black glittery polish. And I put it on, and I immediately was like, oh no, I gotta cover this up. I ended up putting a blue shimmer topper over it, because so I was able to salvage it. But the reason why I didn't like that was I didn't realize just how much I don't really like the look of stark black nail polish against my skin. Now, I could do like, say, a magnetic polish that has a black base to it, but the difference there is that typically there's some kind of color that's going throughout it. So, you know, as long as there's black with something else, that can work well for me. But I just can't, I'm realizing I don't like the look of stark black. So if I compare, say, Bee's Knees Lacquer Void, which is black, to Undead, you can see how there's that difference there. It's so interesting to me how, you know, before I brought Void into the picture, Undead looks pretty dark on its own, but then as soon as I bring in Void, it's like, oh, this on the right is clearly not black. So, you know, some advice for any of you who can relate to that. If you, like me, or someone who sometimes feels a call towards the darkness, but wearing stark black on your nails just doesn't vibe for you, definitely keep your eye out for polishes that are in this kind of color scheme where it's dark enough to look black, but it's got some kind of tint of color like in it that will actually work well against your skin. So I did 2 coats of this. It's got an excellent formula. And then to make it a little bit more fun with some more visual interest, I used this topper from Emily Damali called Pale Landscape. This is absolutely one of my go-to toppers for times when I'm just like, okay, I'm wearing like a simple cream polish and I want to zhuzh it up. So let me pull out Pale Landscape and here you go. So y'all know me, I will talk about toppers all day long, but the last thing I'll say for now is if you all are you know, especially going into the crack sale, if you're trying to set a certain budget and limit yourself to only a certain number of polishes, my personal recommendation, I know I'm talking about jellies in this video, I'm going to be talking about crullies in another one. Please do also consider adding some toppers to your collection. I'm going to show 3 from Crack today, and I just think that they're a fantastic fantastic part of like a nail polish collection to have for times when you're just like, I have nothing to wear, but then you're like, as long as you've got a cream polish and you've got some toppers, you can do something like this. So yay. And so now let's get into our first cracked jelly. This one is Don't Teal My Thunder. And as you can see, it is, or as you can probably guess from the name, it is a teal jelly polish. Another quick point about logistics for this video, I decided to order arrange, by order I mean arrange the polishes that I'm showing in the jelly video here by which ones are the most sheer first, and then finishing with the jelly that is what I would consider to be the most opaque. The curly video, I thought about doing that and I tried that, but I'm like, oh, there's really just one curly that you all will see in that video that stands out as being more sheer than the other. So that one is, it's not going to be like that. But as you're watching this one, it's going to build up that way. So what I'm going to do here is kind of, this might turn into a bit of a chatty video because y'all, I'm going to fill up this entire swatch wheel. So you're stuck with me. So yeah, this one, excellent formula. The reason again why I'm doing multiple swatches here is, as I mentioned in the intro, I am going to do 1, 2, and 3 coats for each of these, and then also the 4th swatch is going to be used for our jelly sandwich. So yeah, this here, I love Don't Teal My Thunder. This is for a number of reasons. One, I love teal. It is just one of my go-to colors. And I really like that the color of Don't Teal My Thunder is one that sits pretty evenly between the blue and the green. I think if I had to choose, I would say it leans ever so slightly more towards the blue side of teal, and that makes sense to me now that I think about it, because I do store this polish with my blues and not the greens. But you know, if you are looking at this polish and you're like, I want it to be just a little bit more green, you could absolutely like maybe layer it together with a green polish or green jelly and maybe push it that way. Now, in terms of opacity, this right here, this is to me jelly. I love this. I mean, if I just like put my finger behind here and you can just see how sheer this is, that phenomenal formula. So let's go and do the next couple coats. So gonna do the second coat here. And the third coat, well, you know, building up to y'all know what I'm trying to do. And then when I do my jelly sandwiches, the way that I personally like to do them is to do 2 coats of the jelly first. Then after that, add in a topper and then seal it up with a final coat of the jelly again. So for now, let's take a look between these 2 here. So between 1 and 2 coats, I think that, you know, even in 2 coats, you still have a good level of sheerness here. This is why I just love the formula of this one so much, because you're getting more color payoff in the second coat, but you still have that glassy look to it. Some of the polishes that you'll see, I think definitely towards the second half of this video, and for sure in the curly video, what can happen is that as those jellies and curlies build up, they start to take on more of a like milky finish. But it's something where I do prefer being able to still see through here. Okay. Now for our jelly sandwich for this one, I've chosen to use this, oh, this is such a glittery flake topper from Cracked, Street Corner Bouquet. I am still trying to figure out the best way that I want to use this polish just as I'm wearing it personally. I think that it is one that it packs a punch. I mean, you'll see when I swatch this out, but I think my initial instinct was to layer it over pink, but I was testing it out over the weekend and had some great success with swatching it over like a more neutral colored one. And actually, I think, yeah, I that's gonna be coming up with the next jelly. I knew I included that in here. Okay, so for now, let's go ahead and add this into our jelly sandwich swatch. So at this point, this is where I'd like for y'all to take note of how the toppers work, or how they behave in addition to the jellies. As you can see here, there is just a lot with Street Corner Bouquet. And if I move this around a little bit, just it picks up the light so well. I really do like this one a lot. I think you'll probably get to see a little bit more of that when I show these in some other lighting. But as that is drying, let's go ahead and add a third coat to this here. You know, I felt like this would probably be the best way for me to show you all these, because I know everyone's got different preferences when it comes to nail polish, but especially jellies. And oftentimes when you're looking on product listings, you don't always get to see them presented like this. So what we've got here, 1, 2, and 3 coats of Don't Teal My Thunder. I had to double check the name of that because Cracked has multiple other teal polishes with puns and I can never keep their names straight. But yeah, this is how Don't Teal My Thunder builds up. I really like this. Even in with the 3 coats, the formula still very good, very self-leveling, easy to work with. And let's just finish up this one by adding on the final coat to our jelly sandwich. Now, a tip as you are working with jelly sandwiches, my recommendation is to always just go with, like, start with the amount of polish that you are bringing with you on your brush. Like, I know it can be tempting to want to go back and double dip and put some more on there, like especially if your coats weren't even, but what that can do is potentially build up that top coat or that top layer a little bit more than you were hoping that it would. So this just a moment for this right here, y'all. this is, okay, hold up. This is going to be something that's going to the club. Oh, this is a, yep, I got it. This is a blue popsicle that's going to the club. You know what? It's cold outside, but it's hot in the club. Oh no, so that means the popsicle's gonna melt. No. Okay, so with that being said, let's take a look at these in some other lighting and then we'll move on to the next one. Real quick, one thing I forgot to mention is that the other lighting shots are gonna show these with top coat on there. So just for full transparency, when you see them in the other lighting, it's gonna be with, if they look extra shiny, that is why. Okay, so let's go on to our next one. This is Spill the Tea. And I, as you know, if you watch my channel a lot, you probably have very rarely seen me wear like a neutral color like this. And I know that neutral colors can be difficult to try and find your right one. So let me actually start swatching this while I talk about this. So I'll start swatching and then I will spill the tea as I do that. How about that? So, you know, I do love the potential of, you know, when I think about using these kind of neutral colored jelly polishes. What can be difficult though is when you find one that it looks good in pictures, but then you see it and you're just like, oh, that actually is not my skin tone. So that's kind of the disclaimer I'm going to have for this one, that while I'm including this one here because I personally, you know, I have it in my collection, I personally enjoy it both for its color and its formula. I also do recognize that this color is not going to be the best one for every skin tone or complexion. So definitely encourage you to take a look through Crack's catalog of neutral colored jelly polishes, because I think many of them do have the same really great sheer formula. You just kind of want to play around and see which one might be good for you. So, okay, Spill the Tea. This, again, another one that looks really good as far as being sheer. If I bring the finger behind here again, I can still see the finger. You know, it's just creeping along like that. And yeah, very great self-leveling formula too. You know, if you're newer to nail polish and you're wondering what I'm talking about when I say self-leveling, I mean the extent to which when you paint with a polish, to what extent does it kind of just smooth out on its own without you needing to overly manipulate it and like move a little bit of the polish there, move a little bit there. Like it just like, it's smooth like butter. I think if I were to compare the formulas, at least just in one coat so far between Spill the Tea and Don't Teal My Thunder, I would say that Spill the Tea is actually even more self-leveling than Don't Teal My Thunder. So another reason to consider checking it out. Let's go to coat number 2. Yeah, so I'm filming this video on a Tuesday night. I was originally planning on filming it on a Monday night, but I finished work. I got in bed for a little bit. I thought I was just gonna chill for a moment, watch some YouTube videos. But then, so that was like 5:30. Next thing I know, I woke up, it was like 11 o'clock. Ooh, I was not expecting that to happen. So more on that in just a moment. Okay, here we are at 2 coats. And yeah, this is a really solid jelly polish. I know I'm wearing dark nail polish today, so this isn't gonna look exactly the right way against my skin tone as it would if I were to just wear it like regular without anything like dark under here. I might be able to show you how this looks once I get the jelly sandwich built up, because that'll have some better opacity there and I won't have to worry about seeing through here. So yeah, here's what we've got in 2 coats. I think I can go ahead and do the third. I've got so much swatching to do in this video, so I am moving a little bit more quickly than I normally would to like let everything dry. I know that when I use like when I'm swatching flake polishes or something, like, oh, I gotta let those dry, otherwise they will they will clump. Our topper for this one, once again, Street Corner Bouquet. So yeah, why was I so tired yesterday? So I've been in my new job for I think just under 2 months right now, and I've been enjoying it so much for so many reasons, and I'm at the point now where I'm out of the new hire phase and I'm actually taking on real work, and it's great, it's exciting, I'm learning so much, my brain is tickled every day. But then what can happen is that at the end of the day where I'm like, oh, I did all this great stuff on a project and I learned so much and this is fun, my brain just shuts down and is like, girl, we need to rest. So that is something I've been having to adjust to lately, like this balance between, you know, having very jam-packed work days and still wanting to do things outside of work that, you know, other than sleep. So here we are with 3 coats of Spill the Tea. I think that the 3 coats right there, that, at least for my skin tone, is such a gorgeous neutral, like a pinky beige, you know? It's like right in between pink and beige. It's beige with just like a drop of pink. And I think that's where I have often struggled personally with trying to find good neutral polishes for myself, that if they lean too pink, then it just doesn't work for me. But this, oh, Spill the Tea. So here's what we got with Street Corner Bouquet. Let's close that up with one last coat of Spill the Tea. This is so pretty. You know, this is one where I was almost very tempted to think like, oh, did I put enough on my brush? Do I need to go back in for more? But yeah, this is what you get with the jelly sandwich here. It's very interesting to see the difference between like when you use the exact same topper, Street Corner Bouquet, but with a different jelly. So again, this is why I'm saying like jelly polishes are versatile for their own reasons, but toppers are so versatile too. I mean, you have this one topper and you can get that look and that one too. I really like these together a lot. Now yeah, there we go. This is, it's like spring on a nail. So yeah, this is Spill the Tea. Once again, I know while this is like a perfect neutral for me, I do encourage you take a look through some of Crack's other neutral jellies and see which one might work best for you. The next jelly that I'm going to show y'all is Vanille. This is a white jelly. Now, if you do not already have a white jelly in your collection, I consider this to be, you know, it's a staple that you absolutely want to consider adding in there, because let's say again when it comes to layering jellies, suppose you got to like 2 coats of Don't Teal My Thunder over here, right? And you're like, I really like this, it's good, but I want it to be just a little bit lighter. Now, keep in mind, if you were to only have 1 coat of Don't Teal My Thunder, yes, it's lighter, but you're not going to have as much opacity, which you might want. But then if you added a 3rd coat of Don't Teal My Thunder, it's going to deepen the color. So what you could do for this one, for example, or any other jelly polish, you start with 2 coats of it, get it to this stage, and then you add on your 3rd coat would be something like Vanille, which will still give you the same core color that you started with, but in a lighter shade. So, you know, just something to consider. Let's go ahead and start swatching this out. As I'm doing this, I'll say this was the point where, as I was planning out this video over this past weekend, I thought, I didn't intend for it to be this way, but the jellies that I'm showing you all in this video, when you put them together, they actually make a very nice Skittle. And also too, I think the Crelly ones that I've chosen work surprisingly well together too. So, you know, that's one of the things I just love about making these videos, that I end up coming across polish combinations that I never would have thought of wanting to put together. It's seriously, it's like putting milk on a nail. At least I think it's like putting milk on a nail. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't remember what milk is like, but but at least I think it's like that. Okay, now 1 coat so far. When I, you know, just have it over like the white background, you can't see this as much, but when I put like some color contrast here, you can start to see how there is a little bit of streakiness here. To be fair, I'm not sure how much of that might be coming from the fact that like my fill line is starting to get down there a bit. And so is it the case that the brush might not be picking up as much of the polish as it was before when it was completely full, you know, or do I maybe need to add some thinner in here? I don't think that I do with the consistency that it is. In my experience, it takes a lot for me to get to the point where I feel that I need to add thinner into a jelly, because jellies tend to be very smooth and I very rarely get them to be gloopy. I don't think that this is gloopy. You know what? Well, let's add a couple drops of thinner in here. There's no harm in doing that, because I do want to see if that will make any difference here. And I have been using Vanille quite a bit lately, so it actually does make sense that, you know, every time I open this bottle, it does cause some of those solvents to evaporate, and so adding some thinner in there could help to smooth this out. Oh, okay. You know what? I take it back. Apparently I did need to add some thinner in here. Lesson learned. So let's go ahead to swatch number 2. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. That is a lot more viscous. It's a lot, it's moving a lot better for me. I still do see and experience some brush strokiness there, but I think that this is spreading a lot better than it was before. I would probably even add in just a little bit more thinner now that I see that that's been helping. But for the sake of this video, I think I'm okay with just the amount of thinning that I've done so far. Okay. Yeah, that actually did make a difference. So, you know what? I am not perfect. I do not know everything. And so I take back what I said about jellies not needing thinner as often. I mean, I'm sure they do, but this might have been the first time I've needed to add thinner into Vanille. So let's see how this is building up. Yeah, so the first coat is still, this is what it was like with, you know, without the thinner. It is getting better as it's being built up. What I think is interesting is if you see the difference in the color intensity of the 3 on the right, how okay, so like this one here, second from the left, seems to be the most pigmented, followed by the one on the right, and then the one in the middle. Let me bring my hand back so y'all can see. Right? Like, so that is also something I know I need to keep in mind whenever I'm working with jellies, that I want to do what I can to make it so that all of my fingers appear to have the same level of opacity, but it can be a little bit challenging at times. Okay, I think now, oh yes, new topper, who dis? So Street Corner Bouquet is sitting off to the side now. And when I was thinking about which crack topper I wanted to pair with Vanille, it was a no-brainer. It's cookie and cream time. Mascara flakes. This one, I just love this polish. So versatile. So, I mean, just like I was saying earlier with Emily Damali's Pale Landscape, I think that Pale Landscape is like my go-to topper for times when I am trying to figure out like something to easily throw onto darker polishes for sure. It also works really well with lighter cream polishes too. But mascara flakes, go to over lighter colors. If I'm like, I need something to add into this manicure, but I don't know what, mascara flakes to the rescue, y'all. So here we go. This is just, like, come on. That is, that right there. And okay, so what I like to do to wear this to like really just have a statement manicure. Okay, I'm giving y'all all my secrets. I do a skittle where one nail is like this. Like you've got a white background with mascara flakes on top. Then I go in with another nail that's like red and white, and then another one that's like black background but white on top. Oh, it is such a fun and easy way to have a very well done manicure, but with such simple components. Okay, third coat. Yeah, red, white, and black. I think, you know, part of it is I have bright red hair, so whenever I'm in a pinch and I'm trying to figure out like, okay, what am I doing with my life, but like, what am I doing with my nails? Red is such an easy go-to color for me. Yeah, so I'm not seeing as much difference here between the second and third coats. It could be because of, you know, the thinner that I added in that first coat that I added post thinner here, just like really like was very over eager. But you know, hopefully you can get a sense of what it's capable for you to do with Vanille. Now, working with mascara flakes, I often will leave mascara flakes just as the top most layer on itself. But another really cool thing that you could do with something like Vanille would be this. And again, this is one of those times where less is more. Trust the process. I was about to say, find the note. I think that's a RuPaul's Drag Race reference. Find the note. And so what's going on here is that with Vanille and mascara flakes together, you still are getting it still looks clearly like black flakes from a distance, but what has changed is that the flakes are just kind of like slightly receded towards the background a bit, and they feel this all feels so much more cohesive. Like, you know, if I showed this nail to somebody and was like, hey, what do you think of this? They almost certainly could think that with this, it just came straight out of the bottle, like a single polish like that. So if this kind of look is something that you enjoy doing for your manicures, having something like Vanille is, I really, really like this. So yeah, let's put some top coat and see this in other lighting. Y'all, I wasn't kidding when I said we're using up this entire swatch wheel today. The next one is Liquid Smoke. The name is just so perfect with this. It's this like brownish gray, grayish brown polish. Now, I'll talk more about this as I start to swatch this out. but this is where we're beginning to enter the territory of starting to slightly lean into more crelly-ish. I still think that this one and the next one that I'll show you, I consider them to be jellies, but hopefully you can see the difference between the opacity of what we've got here compared to, say, one coat of Don't Teal My Thunder down at the bottom. Okay, you know, when this polish came out sometime last year, I thought, okay, should I get this? Like, something was drawing me to it, but I thought, sure, why not? Let's do it, because I didn't have anything like it in my collection, and I really adore this one. I think that where this jelly is particularly useful is for times when you are wanting to have like a using some kind of like earthy colored background base for your manicure, and then finishing with a shimmer topper over it. Liquid Smoke is so good for that, for very much the same reason I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the issues that I often have with wearing stark black nail polish against my complexion. I think that Liquid Smoke gives you like a little bit of warmth there, and add like a blue shimmer on top of this. That's some good stuff. So let's talk about the formula. I would describe the self-leveling of this to be more in line with, or very comparable to what we saw with Don't Teal My Thunder. It's not as self-leveling as Spill the Tea, but not as streaky as Vanille. And even then, Vanille is not super streaky. I'm just saying on that range of formula comparison there. It's so good. Let's go in for coat number 2. Also, do you see what I mean when I say that these colors work so well as a Skittle? Like, what? Okay. I think that ILMP even maybe last year released a collection that had these colors together as like a collection of creams. Okay, 2 coats. I think also that as you're working with darker jellies, it becomes a lot more noticeable when you make that jump between 1 and 2 coats. You know, 1 coat, it's definitely good to have. It's just like a wash of color, but then here it's just like, oh, that was a jump. But also I think my coat that I did here on the right seems to, like, I didn't build this one up as much as I did the other 2. Like, I think the one in the middle is the most pigmented so far, followed by the one here and then there. So, you know, just an example of what I meant about being mindful of trying to be as even as possible with your layering. While these are drying a bit, let me introduce you to our third and final topper for this video. This is Pile of Leaves. Now, I know I'm filming this in May. Yes, I know that leaves are not falling right now, but I am gonna make a case for Pile of Leaves being a year-round versatile topper. I know it looks like leaves, it really does, but it could also look like leaf-colored confetti, maybe. You know, just let your mind wander a bit. So I'm going to put this over our jelly sandwich swatch. Like, for real, that is just everything right there. I just love how color shifty this is. Let me put down the third coat of Liquid Smoke. Yeah, 3 coats of this, and it looks, yeah, it absolutely smooths out in 3 coats. I mean, and also you get pretty much full opacity with the 3 coats. Also, I'm sorry if you're hearing like a motorcycle in the background. There's been some motorcycle going back and forth for the past like half hour, and they keep doing it, so sorry about that. And yeah, so this polish, I feel probably of all the ones I've swatched out so far, has the biggest opacity jump from 1 to 2 to 3. If you told me that this was a cream polish, I'd probably believe you, you know, because of just how opaque it is. And so let's just finish up with closing up the jelly sandwich. And so, yeah, because, you know, to that point, with this being one of the more opaque jellies, even more reason why I encourage you to not double dip if you're using this for a jelly sandwich. By all means, you know, smooth it out with the polish that comes on the brush, but you see how, like, even here, you're like, you can see through and still see those, the pile of leaves topper. I think a great deal of that is because of how vibrant the color is within that topper. But we are definitely starting to get into the territory of a couple things. One being, like I said, needing to be mindful about how much polish you put onto your nail to like use for that topmost layer of the jelly sandwich. But then also thinking about needing to be more mindful and intentional in regards to which toppers you are choosing to use together with this jelly. Whereas, you know, all the others that we've done up to this point, I feel have worked pretty well with giving us that visibility through the top layer of the jelly and looking into what's sandwiched in between. But here, I think if you use a topper that doesn't have that vibrant pop of color like Pile of Leaves does, you're not necessarily going to be able to see it through here in the way that you would like it to. So to sum up Liquid Smoke, I think it's fantastic, especially if you are someone who has a lot of shimmer toppers in your collection, and like a shimmer topper over 3 coats of Liquid Smoke, so good. But yeah, hopefully, you know, when I show you this in some other lighting, you'll be able to see through a little bit more. So let's do that now. The final jelly that I'm going to show y'all today is I Yam What I Yam. Again, I love the pun names that we've got from Cracked. This one is a very like it's an brownish orange jelly that I think this is one that I probably bought more so for the name, because I don't often like to wear orange nail polish, but I have been able to get a surprisingly good amount of use out of this, as you'll see. So let's begin. And you know, this is where I'm glad that this swatch wheel is coming full circle, because with this being, of these 5, the one that I would personally consider to be the most opaque jelly here, you'll see it side by side against Don't Teal My Thunder, where we started with the one that is the most sheer. So literally full circle. Okay, so let's just focus in on these 2 right here, because these are each 1 coat of these jellies. And just for comparison, under here, from my eye, I would say that you know, 1 coat of I Yam What I Yam is comparable in saturation to 2 coats of Don't Teal My Thunder. Wait, that's what it's called, right? Again, I'm getting these confused. Yes, don't Teal My Thunder. Yes. So hopefully you can see what I mean there. That 1 coat of I Yam What I Yam, you can see through it, but it's just not quite as glassy. Like we're starting to get a little bit into the milky territory. So let's go ahead and add in the 2nd coat. But, you know, starting in the second coat here, that is where you really start to get a bit more of that color payoff. I mean, like the jump from 1 to 2 coats there is like, bam, I yam what I yam. I don't know why I just made this like nail just go and do that, but here we are. Actually, I do know why. That's because I do stuff like that all the time. Okay, one more coat here. As this is drying, I'm just going to pan out and show y'all again what I mean when I say this is such a good Skittle. I mean, I think the one that could be an outlier is I Yam What I Yam. I think that one, it could work as a Skittle with these, but maybe. But overall, I love the color story across these right here. And to see where we are so far, hopefully you're getting a sense of like the difference in opacity with coats, with various jellies, in ways that aren't always immediately obvious when you're shopping on maker websites. Okay, so now that we've got 2 coats down, we're going to bring back in Pile of Leaves. And I remember wearing this polish combination at some point during the fall months because it was just, I know I don't wear orange a whole lot, but this combination was so good, and you'll see why. I mean, like this right here, it looks good, but it's gonna get better. Okay, let me add in the last 3rd coat here. And I think that I Yam What I Yam in 3 coats, very similar to Liquid Smoke, is one that, you know, if you told me that was a cream here, I'd believe you. You know, it builds up to near full opacity in a way that 3 coats of Don't Teal My Thunder does not. So hopefully you all are seeing why I chose to order them in this way, that, you know, 3 coats here, you can still see through that. 3 coats of Spill the Tea, almost there, but it definitely, by the time that you get over to Liquid Smoke and I Yam What I Yam, you're just not seeing through that. So this is why the main point I'm trying to make here is that not all jellies, even within the single brand, are going to have the same formula and consistency or the same color payoff. So like, suppose you started with, like, if Don't Teal My Thunder was one of the first jellies you got from Cracked, and you're like, oh, I really like how this is in 3 coats. I also want an orange jelly, so let me get I Yam What I Yam, because I want this kind of formula, but in orange. And you might be disappointed when you get this and you see that it's a different formula. So that's why I'm here to help. Yay. All right, let's close this up with one last coat here. Again, I want to be able to see through to these flakes underneath. Oh, that is so nice. I mean, you still get all of the color shifts in there. Like, you see as I'm rotating this swatch wheel, like the way the light is bouncing off of that. But what you also get that's fantastic with this being a jelly sandwich is like how the flakes are sitting back there. They're not like bam in your face. They're there, but you're predominantly looking at this orange nail that just happens to have like leaves embedded within it. I love this combination here. Oh, it is so nice. So yeah, I'm gonna put some top coat on here. We'll take a look at these and some other lighting, and then we'll get wrapped up. yeah, so these were my 5 favorite cracked jelly polishes. I would love to hear which jellies are on your wish list, if any, and especially if it's the case that maybe you weren't already considering one or more of these, but now you are. I would probably, if I had to choose one that's kind of like the underrated one that I don't often hear people talk about, it's gotta be liquid smoke. This one, it is just trust me on that one. It is so good, especially if you are into doing dupes for other new polishes that come out. I find myself using liquid smoke so frequently for these kind of like brown based shimmers, and yeah, really happy to have all of these in my collection. And again, doesn't this make like the color story? I'm still on the fence about I Am What I Am being part of the color story, but I'm kind of happy with this overall. Like I said in the intro, I'll also be filming a separate video on my 5 favorite cracked Crellies, some of which are on their website as jellies, but y'all will see that I consider them to be a little bit more on the opaque side. So you can kind of think of that video as picking up from where I Am What I Am ended here. Like I said earlier in the video, all of those are pretty much on the same level of opacity, except for one that I think stands out as being the most sheer. But you know, anything that is, to my eye, beyond I Am What I Am in terms of opacity will be, and if it's one of my top 5 favorites, that will be included in the Crelly video. And I also in that video will be doing the sandwich too. So that you can see how those particular polishes work when you do the sandwich effect of layering with a topper. So if you don't want to miss out on that and you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to do so. No pressure, but I post a couple of videos every week. Thank you as always to those of you who are already subscribed and part of this community. I truly love seeing your comments and chatting with you in the comments, and it just like is mind-boggling to me in some ways how like I started this channel in September of 2025, and now it's like there's so many of you that I just always look forward to chatting with in the comments, even though we've never met face to face. I feel like I know so much about your stories that you share. Of course, you know a lot about me from what I share. So I just think that, you know, the internet can, you know, despite how there's a lot of horrible stuff out on the internet, I do love that it can still be a tool that's used to bring people together around a hobby, especially one as creative and fun as nail polish. So yeah, jellies done. Next up, Crellies. We got this. Again, thank you all for being here and watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.